Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, we don't want to go to war today. But the master of the whip says, nay, nay, nay. We're gonna work all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Left, right, left, right, left, right. How you guys doing today? This is Mongo from Mongo's Big Thinks. Welcome to Monstrous News with Mongo. Today is August 10th, 2020. And, guys, I figured I'd jump on a bit earlier than usual. Had some very nice things happening over this weekend, over this week as well. I won't go too much into it just because, this is monstrous news, not Mongo news. But let me give you a little run through on the weekend that I had. It was very, very enjoyable. Let me just say that, folks, as I queue up my tabs here, let me just say that it's always nice to have a nice warm drink of something in the morning. If you hear that, folks, that is me using my spoon, spooning this hot cider. Spooning, probably not the correct use of that verb, but I am stirring. There we go. Stirring my hot cider. And I do love some hot apple cider in the morning. And I wouldn't say this is really the bee's knees because this is just the powder stuff. But it's always nice to have something warm to warm you up. Oh, that's lovely. Very nice, very tasty. This is a sugar-free apple cider, and I gotta say it is very nice, very pleasant. Sometimes I like to squeeze a bit of orange or lemon into there, just to give it a little more of that citrusy, fruity goodness. And it looks like we have a guest here. We have someone in the chat, GFan84. Hey, Mongo. Hey, GFan. How you doing? Ah, fantastic. Your thing popped up in the in my StreamYards. There we go. I have my StreamYard open, and then I have my little YouTube thing, my video open on my phone. Oh, yes, let's see. Did you see about how Toho had a screenplay of Bride of Godzilla? Yeah, I've heard of that. I haven't really read about that really. Let me pull that up actually, because that was that was funny. I really don't know very much, if anything, about Bride of Godzilla. I remember I watched a little fan animation that someone did on YouTube. I put a link to that in your original tweet there, TJ, and it's a very funny animation. It's called like the Island of unused or unmade Godzilla ideas. Didn't get far, but it would explain Son of Godzilla. Oh, yo, way. I like it. Yeah, if you thought Jet Jaguar seemed weird or funny looking, then just be glad we didn't get the Bride of Godzilla, because that's another thing that's kind of weird. Let me see. Let me type in Bride of Godzilla here into my computer. And just to give you guys kind of a bit of a basic kind of idea of what it is. So it's an unfilmed Godzilla screenplay submitted by Hideo Unagama to Toho producer Tomoyuki Tanaka in 1955. Now, I'm just reading this off of Wikizilla, wikizilla.org. I'll put that in the chat there. I believe that's where TJ got got some of his info there. That's a huge URL. Hopefully that makes it into the chat. Oh, and it did. Look at that. Look at all those. Look at all those letters and characters there. Wow. Let's see. So the Bride of Godzilla. So I'm just going to read through the plot very briefly here. At least the plot that's here on Wikizilla. At the Godzilla Countermeasures Center in Tokyo, Dr. Zenji Shida advances the idea that Godzilla and Anguirus lived in a hollow earth cavern before emerging to menace Japan. In the event of Godzilla's unthawing after the events of Godzilla Raids Again, he has invented a giant humanoid robot, the Bride of Godzilla, to combat him. He also showcases Eve, a human-sized robot with advanced AI. Okay, that's just the first little paragraph here. Okay. Hollow Earth cavern. That's pretty cool. And maybe that's something that's carried over in Godzilla media. Hollow Earth, all those kind of big underground caverns. Big giant monsters. They got to sleep somewhere. They got to come out of somewhere too. So that makes sense. Giant humanoid robot. Okay, makes sense. The Bride of Godzilla. I don't. Maybe it's kind of an artistic kind of way to name a robot. I could see how they could justify, like, this will be the bride of Godzilla, the bride of his death, or some kind of stuff like that. You have Eve, a human-sized robot. Okay, so let's get back to this little thing. An enormous blood-sucking flea menaces a village outside Kyushu. Zenji's brother Yoshi, in charge of the mining company there, leads a team to kill it. Okay, so I really like that. Obviously, Godzilla 1985, you have the sea louse that is attacking a ship, and it's sucking out all the blood and organs of the people on the ship. And then you could think, it also reminds you of like Rodan, the original movie Rodan, where you had the Meganula, the Meganulons. Those, you had those bugs that were also attacking a little village. But I like that. That's cool. So they bring in Dr. Yanai, a former colleague of Dr. Shida, to examine the remains of this flea, blood-sucking flea. A reporter startles Yanai by pointing out that Eve closely resembles his wife, Riko, who chose him over Zenji years ago. Yanai, a Christian, believes that Zenji is tampering in God's domain with his creations. Riko visits Zenji's laboratory after hearing the news and is stunned by the sight of Eve and a foster daughter robot named Riko, though she eventually has an amiable meeting with the latter. Back in Kyushu, miners discover an underground cavern, just as Zenji predicted, containing a second Anguirus, a giant bat, a family of mermaids. They flee as Godzilla bursts out of a lake and tell Yoshi their story. He agrees to call in Zenji, but an earthquake suddenly seals the entrance to the cavern. Following a mermaid sighting, they realize there is a second underwater entrance. After watching the mermaid family battle a giant octopus, the robot Riko follows them. I say Riko, it's probably like Ryko, maybe Riko, I don't know. Follows them home and charms them with a dance. She finds still more creatures in the cavern, a giant Archaeopteryx and chameleon. Though she tries to befriend him too, Godzilla swings at the cliff she's standing on, causing her to fall into the water below. The mother mermaid returns her to Zenji with a JSDF diver rescuing her and Riko from a sea serpent along the way. Like, wow, just kind of reading through this, there's like so many things. So many monsters in this thing. Oh, righty. All righty, TJ. Glad you could pop in. This has been very fun. I'll see you later, man. Rest up. Like there is a surprising amount of creatures and monsters in this thing. You have a giant blood-sucking flea. You have a second Anguirus. You have a Godzilla, of course. You have mermaids, a giant Archaeopteryx, and a chameleon. Just so many. You have a sea serpent too. It's like, wow. So let's finish this off here with the plot of The Bride of Godzilla. So with Godzilla's return to Japan imminent, Zenji downloads Riko's memory into the Bride of Godzilla. The machine's unclothed body resembles that of the human Riko's, while she possesses the machine Riko's face. The monster attacks Wakamatsu Port along with Anguirus and the chameleon. Okay. While the Archaeopteryx rises out of the mine. Godzilla destroys a church Yunai was hiding inside, killing him, though Riko survives. As a power plant charges up the Bride of Godzilla, the JSDF dispatches fighter jets against the monsters. They manage to kill the chameleon, but are no match for Godzilla and the Archaeopteryx. The Bride of Godzilla activates and promptly kills Anguirus by tearing out his throat, then impressing Godzilla by shrugging off his atomic breath. Poor Anguirus, man. Anguirus really gets screwed over a lot, you know. Gets his jaw broken, he gets his throat torn out, all these kinds of things. After she breaks the Archaeopteryx's neck, he sets it on fire in a display of affection. So after the Bride of Godzilla, the robot waifu of Godzilla breaks a giant feathered dinosaur's neck, Godzilla sets it on fire in a display of affection. Shida announces that a wedding of sorts is imminent, as it is the foreplay of love to be beaten. Monster and robot continue battling underwater, with Godzilla's ray creating another entrance to his subterranean home. They enter the cave and embrace before the bride detonates a hydrogen bomb Zenji planted inside her. Zenji tries to make amends with their widowed Riko, but she rejects him again. As the mermaid family surfaces, they can only watch as a frightened soldier shoots the child. Dang, ooh. Okay, I kind of got chills at the end there. Ooh. But let's go back to some of the kooky stuff we were reading here. So, you have your giant woman robot, aka the Bride of Godzilla. It's activated, it kills Anguirus by tearing out his throat, breaks Archaeopteryx's neck. Then, Godzilla blasts it with some atomic breath. It shrugs it off. Godzilla is impressed. And then after it kills some of these other monsters, Godzilla sets one of the monsters' bodies on fire as a display of affection. As it's very weird, very odd. There's a few things that are a little weird. The name itself, Bride of Godzilla, hopefully, maybe that was going to be a placeholder name. Maybe there would have been a better name when the movie came out. And it's very easy. You could edit this. You could change some things in this plot here to really make it a lot less weird. Maybe you maybe you just make it a robot, just a humanoid robot. You don't make it look like a woman. You don't make it like that. You just kind of do a robot. You replace the woman robot with just a genderless robot. Maybe you take out the mermaids because that seems like a bit of a weird thing. Let me have another drink of my apple cider here, folks, as I try to as I try to contemplate this amazing plot here. But oh boy. Okay. Let me take a drink, folks. Oh, that's nice. So a few little things here, a few little bits of history here that I found very nice. So some elements of Bride of Godzilla turned up in Rodan the following year. A giant insect running amok in a mining village. There we go. So earlier in the plot, we had a giant blood-sucking flea that was terrorizing a village. In the movie Rodan, we had the Mega Nulon, who were giant insects that were coming out of an ancient cavern and were terrorizing a nearby village. So, there's some good stuff there. And let's see. Okay, so we do have another thing here. So in 1978, with the Godzilla series on hiatus, Tomoyuki Tanaka asked Shuichi Nagahara to rewrite Bride of Godzilla. He completed 3 drafts, retaining the giant flea, which became Shakirus in The Return of Godzilla. So I mentioned that earlier, folks. With the giant flea, you kind of see that in 2 instances. We already talked about Rodan with the Mega Nulon, but we also have Shakirus. I did not know that was its actual name. So in The Return of Godzilla, we have a giant sea louse, and it mutates into a relatively large creature, like pretty big, and it basically attacks some ship workers, and it's like sucking out all their blood and stuff. So that's called Shakirus. So it's neat how some of these unused or unmade plans were put in other movies and reused. I think that really speaks about the ingenuity of various creators. Oh, by the way, I've been messing around with the computer, so I kind of made this icon here. I like it. I think I'll probably change it eventually. Mongo's big thinks on a little TV. I think eventually I'll try and change that out. I'd like to actually take a photograph of a TV. I'd like to actually make the thing myself, because this is just a stock image of a TV that had a green screen in the middle of it. So, I'd like to eventually, it's something to do. Something to do. That's something we always said in Vanuatu. Like, oh, something Blumekim, something Blumekim, something to do. And folks, that's a little bit of that Bishlama, Bislama, Bishlama. And boy, oh boy, was it a very fun thing to learn. We're about 18 minutes in, folks. I was thinking, man, this is going to be a short one, but nope, no got. That's another little bit of Bishlama. That means no. But anyhow, let's briefly go through a few of these things. So this weekend, I had a very lovely time going through and meeting my sister, my brother-in-law, and my little nephew. They live up in Arizona, so it wasn't too bad of a drive. I had the chance to drive up there on Friday. And boy, oh boy, was it fun meeting my nephew for the first time. And there we go. This is a little GIF that I made of just a bunch of the pictures that I took. And boy, doesn't he look great? Isn't he such a beautiful little guy? It was really nice meeting him. And boy, oh boy, was it tough leaving. So I left yesterday. It's only about a 5-hour drive, but I got to say, I'm really glad I had a chance to spend a day or two with my sister, because, man, what a great sister she is. When I was growing up, she was pretty much my protector, going to school. She looked out for me. And, pretty much wherever I was, she would be there. Growing up in elementary and middle school, and even a little bit into high school, she would always kind of have my back. And, man, it was just great. Her husband is amazing too. I remember I was in a foreign country. I was on a LDS mission, and I had a chance to give her a phone call. And she asked me, "Hey, I found," or she's telling me about this wonderful guy that she met. And she's told me, "Is it okay if we have our wedding while you're away?" And I asked her, "Well, do you love him?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Yeah, go for it. I don't mind." And he really is such a great guy. I really enjoy. He's a very soft spoken guy, but he's very patient, and he can work. He works and he supports my sister, and my little nephew, and I really got to say he's amazing. And of course, my little nephew here, he's Little Jackson or Kaleo Hano. That's his middle name. He's really great. He looks just like his father, like his eyes and his face. And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience being able to hold him and play around with him. Obviously, I'm not, I don't have a baby. So that was kind of my first experience, like holding a child and, cradling the head, making sure he's, got, some movement, got something to look at, making sure he doesn't barf on you. Yeah, that happened once or twice. He puked on me a few times, but it wasn't no biggie, it wasn't no big thing really, since he's still being breastfed. So it's just, mother's milk and the usual baby fluids, I guess, like stomach fluids. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist, but man, I really enjoyed being there. Really can't understate it. And a lot of people love seeing all these things. Reminds me, I did bring a little plushie, Godzilla plushie. This is one of those big ones where it's got the little vibrating machine inside of it. a Yeah, so it's really fun. I had to bring that there. Hopefully, you get some good mileage out of it. Hopefully, I'd say that's probably like a good 5, 6, maybe 7 year investment right there for that toy. I think it can last that long. It's very sturdy. I mean, I could see the arms getting ripped off, or maybe the dorsal plates getting ripped off. But anyhow, folks, I'm babbling. I'm babbling. It's my little nephew. And boy, oh boy, was it great to see him. Oh boy, I was getting all choked up yesterday when I was leaving. So, folks, hopefully you guys are having a great Monday, a great start to your week. I know I'm doing very good. I'm very energized from my wonderful weekend here. Let me take another drink of my apple cider here, my hot cider. Ah, it's a lot less hot now, but it's still very tasty. Anyhow, folks, let's get to some kaiju news. So we have a few things here and there. I'm going to start with the small things, the small fries, and we'll work our way up to some of the things that I thought were very interesting. Let me see here. Yabba dabba doo baba dee ba bo baba dee ba baba da bo. Okay, so this is just something I found kind of interesting. We have some Godzilla Yojo tape is now available to mark or decorate your belongings. 3 patterns are available in a 2-pattern set. It seems to be a big success when giving presents. And I guess that's Godzilla Ken from Godzilla Japan. And you can purchase it at this website here. Let me open that link and put that link into the chat. Personally, I think it's interesting. You have some different tapes here. Oh, well. You have your it's pretty neat. You have a tape that is from 1954 all the way up to 2016. You have your caution tape here. You have this nice little cutesy tape with Godzilla riding a moon, attacking Ghidorah. And then you have all these other guys, and you have another neat little thing there. Here you have something in Japanese. And then you have Shin Godzilla. Very neat. You have his evolutions on there. And, I think that's really cool. I'd love some wallpaper like that. But that's kind of just something to warm us up here, warming us up for this wonderful thing. So the link that I clicked did not really lead me to something that I thought was spectacular. So I won't put that link in there. Let me just show you. Okay. So I have 3 more items here to show you, 3 big items. So let's just say let's go into it like this. So there's a wide variety of premium figures, statues, vinyl creations out there, folks. And X Plus is one of those companies who make premium vinyl statues. They're probably best known for that. And at least for me, I always enjoy looking at them because there really is a lot of there's a lot of effort and variety put into the sculpting and painting of these things. Now, one of their lines that X Plus has is called the Defo Real line, short for deformed series, deformed realistic series, I believe. Now, let's just take a look at a Mecha Godzilla design that has been released. And of course, Defo Real can also easily be equated to chibi. It's a very chibi-fied kind of figure design. So we have Mecha Godzilla here, the original Mecha Godzilla in a chibi form. Now, this is just a design. The figure has not officially been revealed, in person, so to speak, but this was revealed at the Summer Kaiju Festival. So, it's pretty interesting. Let me show you another Defo Real figure that has been revealed. Let me share the screen here. And this one really surprised me because this was a relatively not obscure kaiju, but it does not get very much attention. This is Varan from 1958, the unbelievable Varan, I believe. So Varan, he's a kaiju that has a few things going for it. He crawls, he's got spikes. He can also fly via his flaps of skin like a flying squirrel. But he only had one movie. He's been featured maybe in 1 or 2 little things here and there. But overall, he's kind of been put to the wayside. Me personally, I haven't actually watched the original Varan, but I believe I can find that on Amazon Prime. So I will have to put that on my to-do list. But I do got to say, I think it's very cool. Something really cool there. And of course, these things are probably in the 6-inch range. As far as size goes, they're not nearly as gigantic as some of the X Plus figures. Oh, and saying this is in the 6-inch range, it'd probably be a bit of an overstatement for some of them. There are some other kaiju that have been made that are significantly larger, like Destoroyah, King Ghidorah, things like that. Those are a little more on the larger side, but that's something to look at. Let me just show you some other images of the Defo Real line. Now, this is just on a Google search here. We have just various Defo Real figures, Godzilla Earth. We have Shin Godzilla. There are a couple variants of this guy. You have him with a closed mouth. You have some of his earlier forms. You have the 1985 or 1984 Godzilla right here. You have your Millennium Era, Godzilla 2000, Godzilla 2000 with a boat. You even have Zilla or Godzilla 1998. And that's a really cool thing. That That came out a couple years ago, a year or two ago, but he looks amazing. And I think that's really cool, really neat thing right there. And he looks amazing. I just love that. It's too bad they didn't release that. Too bad they didn't have stuff like that when the '98 movie came out. Obviously, you had the Trendmaster toys, and you had a few things here and there. You'd probably get some stuff from Taco Bell, like some little toys or something. But if they had something like this back then, man, I would have wanted it so badly. But you kind of get an idea of the different things that they do. Look at that Space Godzilla. Oh, that is awesome. Godzilla with a little Mothra on his tail. You have your Anguirus in black and white. Look at that. Look at that Rodan. He looks amazing. So, folks, you kind of get a good idea. Oh, yes. And look at this Kamada-kun. Oh, look at that. You have different variants, too. You have your standing one. You have your crawling one. You have your closed mouth one. It's just great. It's just great. And here's kind of just a comparison between different figures, But boy, oh boy, is that great. Ain't it, folks? Ain't that cool? So let's just mosey on here. We got 2 items left, 2 big items here. So through following Kaiju News Outlet, we have seen a first poster has been revealed for Godzilla Festival 2020. And the event will be held online on November 3rd. And it's going to be a completely online festival. So that's a pretty cool image there. You see some things here and there. You got the original Godzilla dorsal plates right there. And yeah, it looks pretty neat. That's something that you don't have to be particularly artistic to do, but you do have to be technologically competent to do that kind of stuff. I know that I would not be able to do that. That's some good use of like Photoshop and whatever, and all those other things. But we're gonna keep our eyes and ears open, folks, because we don't know exactly how it's gonna go. We don't know where it's gonna be exactly. And I gotta say, I am going to let you guys know the stuff that I find out about this thing. Now, I'm not really a reporter or a journalist, so to speak, but definitely interested in kaiju news. And the last thing that I want to show and talk about, folks, is a very cool thing, something that really makes me jealous of Japan. So, a Godzilla museum has been announced. The limited attraction will be open from August 8th to August 31st on Awaji Island in Japan. Featured at the museum will be dioramas, props, a Chibi Godzilla children's exhibit, Godzilla food collabs, and an exclusive gift shop. And look at that. TJ commented on that. He's like, finally, with such a long history of films, TV shows, and promotional material, I am shocked they didn't do this sooner. That's great. Gosh, like I love that. Like down here in San Diego County, we have our little museums down at a place called Balboa Park. And I would love a Godzilla museum, even if it was just a traveling exhibit. Like put that we have a train museum, put some of these dioramas in that part of the train museum. Look at that. Like, the last picture we had Shin Godzilla. This picture we have basically Tokyo SOS here. We have Godzilla, we have Kiryu, we have Mothra, and just for some fun, we got the Atragon, we have the Gotengo, and boy, does it look tiny next to all these other kaiju. But man, I love that. This is amazing. I would die. I would kill someone to go here. Not really, folks. Not really. Don't get it twisted, you know. But boy oh boy, I would love to go there and see that. You know, it's another reason for me to wish to be in Japan. But let's take a look at some of the other things here. So let's take a look at some of the stuff they're going to be offering. So they did have a gift shop, and that's the thing with these gift shops on these exclusive museums. You know, these items when they get put onto the secondary market are going to be most likely going to be very expensive because people know, like, hey, this is a limited time thing, you know. It's something that I can make some dough off of, you know, some real cash money. So here's some exclusive kaiju cups that are going to be available at the Godzilla Museum. Now, this is the Kaiju News outlet. For me, it's basically my one-stop shop for kaiju news. But look at that. They're going to be about $12 each. They are basically, you know, you basically have a bit of a bottle here. I'm assuming that's a screw-on cap. And you have Godzilla, you have Shin Godzilla's head, you have Shin Godzilla here, you have King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan, Fire Rodan. Actually, no, that might be before it became Fire Rodan. But anyhow, folks, like, that's awesome. I do wish I read Japanese because it'd be interesting to see how big these things are. But those are neat. But here's the real thing that I really liked seeing. Before I go on to this, let me just take another drink of my apple cider. It's gotten very cool now because we're coming up at about 40 minutes now. And folks, hope you guys are doing good out there. Let me take a drink. Yeah, that's not hot anymore. It's kind of just a lukewarm apple juice. But anyhow, folks, here's the last thing that I really got a kick out of. Here are some of the exclusive food items that are going to be at this Godzilla museum. So you got a little hot dog, a little Shin Godzilla hot dog. And then you have a little, I'm assuming that's a brownie because you have strawberries there. You make that like a brownie, maybe. I'm assuming that's kind of more of a dessert kind of thing. You have your Godzilla brownie treat thing, or it could just be bread. It could just be a piece of rye bread or something, or pumpernickel bread. You put that there, you get some strawberries. Maybe it's got some cream in the middle or something. But I love that Shin Godzilla hot dog with the little eyes on it. And you have the lettuce as the dorsal plates. Oh gosh, that's just amazing. And we have another person here. We have Jeremy 5, Russia approved. Hello. Glad to hear. Like, look at that. It's a little Shin Godzilla hot dog. And I guess that's like what, 650? I don't know how yen transfers into US dollars. So let's see. So let's say Japanese yen, 650 is about it's about $6, $6.10 in US. So I don't know if I'd buy that for $6. You know, so it's yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, I would buy it and eat it because, you know, why not? Because it's I'd take a picture of it too. Because, I mean, of course I would. It's a Shin Godzilla hot dog. And here we have a Godzilla thing, bread thing. And let's go to this next thing here. Now, this is pretty cool. We have a rice patty with some, I'm going to assume, maybe a soy balsamic dressing here around the edges with some oh, I'm seeing chili peppers, so maybe it's a spicy thing. And we have like a Godzilla footprint there. Little cherry tomato, a little bit of lettuce on the side. So, I'd eat that. I mean, honestly, looking at all the things on these pictures, I'd eat them. There isn't anything that I wouldn't eat. You have a King Ghidorah. Like, let me see here. What is this? Let me open this image in a new tab. Let me reopen this because I cannot zoom very well on that tab. Let's see here. Let me share the screen again. So, like, let's do some detective work here. Okay, so you got you got your rice here, you got your lettuce, your tomato. I'm gonna say that's probably a chicken, like a chicken tender of some sort. You have your chili pepper warning here, so it's probably a spicy, spicy-ish type of thing. So I can dig it. I like that. I like spicy stuff. We have our King Ghidorah. Let's go even further beyond. We have a more rice. We have some possibly cheese on the back of that. We have some little French fries sticking out of that rice to, emphasize Ghidorah's heads and tails. And then we have some chips, I guess tortilla chips, which are his wings. We got this, possibly a curry, probably a curry, because it does have this uh, spice warning here. But yeah, I'd probably eat that. And then we have Mothra. So some more rice. I don't quite know what those could be. Ah, maybe they're just candies. That could be an olive right there. But I don't know what that could be. These light blue things could be a peeled grape that's colored blue. I don't. You have some little feelers there. Could possibly be a slice of onion, and you have like quesadillas, 2 quesadillas. I'd like that. You have that, and of course you have your obligatory sliced cherry tomato and piece of lettuce. But yeah, so yeah, I'd eat that. Yeah, I'd eat that. And then we have poor Rodan, who has not even been. He does not even have a head. He's just a pair of wings with some more rice and then a little bit of chicken on the top, I bet. But poor Rodan, this guy's dead. Like there's no getting around that. Mothra, Mothra's looking alive, very lively. Ghidorah is headless, unfortunately, and legless. Godzilla's footprint is here, so he saw what was going on. Either that or these chicken strips are what is left of Godzilla. So it's kind of a morbid thing. It's a real sad day when powerful kaiju are reduced to food, to condiments, to mass produced food items. And boy, oh boy, folks, I would eat Godzilla. If I was given the chance. Bear in mind, Godzilla is radioactive. But if I had the choice, I would totally eat Godzilla. I would totally eat a kaiju. I'd take a bite of Rodan, give me a little piece of a Rodan steak. I'd eat that. I'd cook it up. You know, I probably wouldn't eat Mothra because it's a bug and bugs are pretty nasty. Unless you eat them whole, I guess. But, anyhow, folks, what do you think of that? If you were doing a giant monster museum or exhibit and you wanted to make like a food item to represent like giant monsters, what would you do? Maybe I think they were onto something with the hot dog, but I probably would have done it on a better bun. I do it like an actual hot dog, like a big chunky hot dog, because giant monsters are chunky. You do a Shin Godzilla, you get a hot dog, you put it on a bun, and you kind of like do some little chef magic, and you kind of carve in the little tail of Shin Godzilla, and you say like, "That's a Shin Godzilla tail." Let me pull that up. Shin Shin Godzilla tail. Like, you could totally do that, and this is something I just thought of right now. Uh, oh gosh. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's an image. Here's an image. So, and hear me out, guys. You get your hot dog, and you kind of carve it up, or you put some like horseradish or something, some things here and there, and you make that one end of the hot dog look like the Shin Godzilla. Hell, you even put some little lines of ketchup on the tail. You make it look pretty cool. I think that'd be fun. That'd be something fun. Oh, look at that tail. Ooh. Ooh. So that's one thing. You could do that. That's an idea. You change that hot dog, and you go even further. You go even further beyond, to quote Dragon Ball Z. That's one idea. That's one idea that I think is pretty cool. Would be pretty neat to do. Let's see what other things. I guess with Rodan, I'd probably just do the same thing. Do a chicken. Oh, Cornish game hen. Cornish game hen Rodan. That would be delicious. And we have AFK Bard in the chat. Very glad to have you here. We're coming at the tail end of our show. And, this show might just evolve into a 1 hour show or a 45-minute show. Because lately, I always talk. And boy, oh boy, do I talk to myself a lot. But anyhow, I digress, folks. But yeah, Cornish game hen, a Rodan, like, oh, that would be awesome. I love Cornish game hen, especially when it's like cooked well. So you have your your rotisserie Rodan. You have a Shin Godzilla hot dog tail. That'd be great. You do Ebera. Now, Ebera, that's basically a giant shrimp. So that's easy. You just do a lobster tail. Ebera lobster tail, because, why not? Oh, look at that. I love getting compliments. You have a great narrator voice. I love compliments. I think everybody loves compliments. Everybody loves to, feel good, and compliments make you feel good. So hence why people love compliments, and that's a big thing for you right there. You take that to the bank. But yeah. So I really got to bring this up next time I talk with TJ on what kind of items he would make for a Godzilla museum, food items. Because, you can have a lot of fun with that, I'd love to see that on like the cooking channel, Godzilla Week with the Iron Chef, all those kinds of stuff. But yeah, so that's about all I got to say. I think I'll kind of stay live for maybe 10 more minutes here, about 10 more minutes. So how are you guys doing out there? And we're kind of evolving the show a bit. We're evolving this Monstrous News with Mongo. Every now and then we have to innovate. Innovation is the mother of creation or invention or whatever. Don't quote me on that, but that's something smart sounding. So, so how are you guys doing? We got Jeremy 5. We got AFK Bard. We also have. I also am in the chat, but I just have it open on my phone just because. Well, I always get a little Not worried, but I always get a bit self-conscious. I'm like, okay, are the audio levels good, or is it sounding good? I mean, at the very least, basically, when I first started up this Monday streaming thing, it was just me. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna record this, I better make sure it sounds good. So you basically, like, the first like 2 or 3 minutes, I would open up my phone, say a few things on the stream, and then just listen and see, does it sound good? Does it sound okay? All that kind of thing. That's basically my process. Let me have another drink of my apple cider. This is just the cheap stuff, the powder stuff. And that was not even warm at all now. But that's what a 50-minute stream will do to hot cider. It will make it not only not hot, not only not even warm, it will make it apple juice, pretty much. But anyhow, folks, let me just take a look at Twitter, give you some musings straight from the mind, straight from the mouth of Mongo. Maybe that's a good idea for a stream title, from the mouth of Mongo. Maybe one of these days. Yeah, so earlier in the stream, we talked a bit about a few things. TJ, GFan84, he was in the stream too. Oh boy, we talked a little bit about The Bride of Godzilla, a screenplay that was not made into a Godzilla movie. So it's very interesting. I went through some of the plot on Wikizilla. You can find that link up in the chat here, earlier in the chat. It was a very interesting screenplay. And if it was made into a movie, well, I think it would have been very unique in at least one or two ways. Because essentially, with The Bride of Godzilla, some dude makes a giant robot waifu, pretty much. A giant robot woman who is like naked. Naked. Sorry, who is nude and naked, apparently. And obviously, if it was made into a movie, it would probably just be it. It'd probably just be. It'd look like a Barbie, I bet. Like a Barbie's chest. It wouldn't really be. Naked. It'd be just a giant nude robot woman thing that is awakened to fight Godzilla, and it kills a couple monsters. And then Godzilla falls in love with it, and then the robot waifu explodes with a hydrogen bomb and kills everybody, or kills Godzilla in itself. So it was a very ambitious movie idea. Eventually, of course, it didn't get made because it's kind of a dumb name. If I share my honest thoughts about it, it's a silly name, a silly concept. Although it could have easily been edited or changed, into something a lot less goofy, But so we talked about that. I talked about my little visit over the weekend with my sister and her little family. Boy, oh boy, was that great. I really enjoyed that. I talk a little bit here and there about that. And then we kind of just went into some things here and there. We had Godzilla duct tape, essentially Godzilla duct tape. And then we had some premium statues that we talked about. Pardon me, folks. I had a little bit of a burp. That is the apple cider getting revenge on me. But we talked about a few vinyl figures here and there. We talked about an upcoming Godzilla Online Festival. That'll be coming up in November 3rd to be exact. And then after that, we talked about various things with the Godzilla Museum exhibit that is happening in Japan. So, yeah, pretty much that. We got about 5 minutes here. Oh, we got some new comments. Okay, let's see what we got. Have you thought about Godzilla themed drinks to go with the food? Oh, you can have some fun with that. Like you could, so you could go with your, so let's see, you could go with a red drink. Now I don't, I don't drink alcohol, because I'm a church boy. So I couldn't really give you any drink combinations. I bet Mary Mayhem could definitely give you some good alcoholic beverages. But I could definitely see like a red drink be like kaiju. You get your kaiju brew or your you could always do bug juice because you have like Mothra. You have Mothra, you have other giant bugs in the Godzilla series. So you go like kaiju bug juice or whatever, stuff like that. We got Gitter 92. Very cool, dude. I had a chance to be on a stream with him on the Ambassadors channel a couple of weeks ago, actually. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I'm 99.9% sure that that's where we met. Let me see. So yeah, so you could go with like bug juice, have it like be green, maybe Mountain Dew or something. Not Mountain Dew. Oh, Mountain Dew's nasty. You could have like green bug juice drink. You could go with a red drink, and be like kaiju blood. Yes, I am correct. Thank goodness. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. But yeah, so I wish I could come up with more ideas. People who are more well versed in drink could totally give you some come up with some good drink ideas. Oh gosh, but yeah, totally. So we're at 57 minutes right now, folks. Keep it live. I'll keep it live for about 3 more minutes. Well, two more minutes. We got a thumbs up. Always nice. Always good to have that positive reinforcement. Gin and tonic Biolante. Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, yes. There's so much creativity you can have with like, so many different things. It's not just limited to giant monsters. Anything like vampires. I mean, just look at Halloween time. You have all these different things like, oh, let's put gummy worms in pudding cups and throw a little bit of crumpled up Oreo cookie in there, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a mud pie or a mud cup or whatever. So many great things people can do with their creativity and imagination. But yeah, so we're coming up on the last minute here, the last leg of this very nice Monday stream here. Again, I just want to say thanks to GFan84 for coming in pretty much right when this thing started at 9 o'clock. He came in, he said hi. We talked a little bit about some of that Bride of Godzilla. We went through the plot of that a bit. Then we had Jeremy 5, of course. The Jeremy 5, Russia approved. Then we had the very kind AFK Bard showering me with compliments, with a compliment. And you make do with what you get. When you get a compliment, you say thank you and you you shower that person with some compliments as well. AFK Bard is very nice, very kind, very kindly person. It's really a treat to be able to interact with them, whether it's in a chat or whether it's in a stream, all that good stuff. Then we had Gitter 92, a very cool dude, very knowledgeable with the DC stuff, DC Marvel. So it was very pleasant to be on a stream with him talking about that stuff. And let's see. Hmm. Oh well, let me compliment Jeremy Five Russia approved. I gotta compliment you guys because you're great. You're very supportive. I really appreciate your attitude in chats and all that kind of stuff. It's really a pleasure to interact with you as well. And we get a little smiley face from AFK Bard. Hopefully that's a happy smiley face. Sometimes smiley faces cannot be happy, like the movie Watchmen. Get the smiley face with the blood on it, not so happy. Hopefully that's a happy smiley face. And yeah, you were late, but no, just kidding. you know it's all good. It's all good, man. I started this stream at like 9 o'clock. Usually I do like at 12 o'clock, but we're evolving. This is an ever evolving stream, an ever evolving channel, and always happy, always good. And yes, you are really cool. I look forward to watching more of you. Whether you're guesting on like other streams and stuff. I'd really like to see more of you, I guess. And hopefully that didn't sound weird. I mean, I'd like to see more of a lot of people, but in a platonic way, of course. But anyhow, folks, I'm yabbering on here, so I'm gonna end the stream. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you guys have some energy for this new week. I love you guys. You guys are great. I always say, and as cheesy as this sounds, if you guys ever needed your lawn cut or your trees trimmed, I'd do that for free. Folks, with that, I am Mongo, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.